Hey guys, it's me again, Miss Valerie with Royale Classic Creations. I am coming to you today with a little Q&A session. We are going to be talking about event planning and design. And I'm just going to go over a few of the questions that I have been asked since I started this business. And just to kind of give you guys some oversight and some overview of what it is to be an event planner and designer. I didn't actually go into this to be an event planner because I did not want to do all that entails that entails. So but it just kind of ended up that way. So first I'm going to start by just giving you a little bit of history about me. I really was working in the corporate America for some years. I was first in the legal field, and then I decided to go on and do some different things, and then I started a business where I owned a daycare, working with children between the ages of 6 weeks old to about 12 years old. And I had that daycare for some years, and I decided I was done just talking to children and wanted to have some adult conversation, and decided to go back into the corporate world. I just quickly realized that being in the corporate world wasn't for me. So I decided at that point that I needed to figure out what I wanted to do and what I was happy doing. And I knew that the only thing that I have ever been just happy doing is when I'm creating or I'm planning a party. That is me. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to start the event design, and it quickly turned into event planning as well. So here I am today as an event planner and designer. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started on our first question. So question number one is, why did I go into this field? Well, I kind of touched bases on that in the beginning of this video. I've always, wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to own a business. I mean, I can tell you, even growing up, I would always do things that would consider myself a business owner. I would always just make up stuff to do. I was creative that way, where I would make up something to do where I know I was going to be my own person and make my own money. So even in high school, I can remember in my freshman year in high school, I was writing term papers for seniors because they had to have a term paper before they could actually graduate. And that term paper included everything from the table of contents to references, footnotes, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the seniors didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do all the typing and everything that goes along with it. So I ended up doing that as a means for me to make some additional money. And the word spread quickly throughout the school, and before you knew it, I had a lot of term papers to do and was making a little extra money, which was great for me. So yeah, I've always kind of been that person. I've always been that person that, was very creative and wanted to do things on my own and didn't want to follow, the beat of somebody else's drum. So that's kind of how I got started in the event planning. And I knew that when I'm planning an event, I would plan an event for just about anything. So I knew that was it for me. That's what I needed to be doing. It took me some time to figure that out, but I finally did figure that out. But I'm glad I did. Okay, so our next question is, how much can you make as an event planner? Well, that really depends on the area that you live in. There's a lot of aspects that goes into the amount that you can actually make. So again, it depends on the area that you live in, how motivated, how committed are you. It depends on how many events that you have in that year, the size of the event, the type of event. Um, so it depends on a lot. You can make anywhere in excess of 50,000 or as low as 5,000 a year. I mean, it depends a lot on, like I said, the area, what you're doing, the size of the event, um, and then what your that determines the amount that you can actually charge for a specific event. And then we do have a formula that we use for that, and so it depends on a lot of things. A lot of things go into that. Also, that's not the only thing that I do. So I don't do a lot of just events. I also do, I don't just book events. Let me put it that way. I don't just book events. I also do things, there's also other things that you can do as far as maybe renting out your supplies. You can rent out your table linens and your centerpieces and things of that nature. So you can do rentals, as I also do rentals of my linens and things and tables, chairs, things of that nature. So you can do that. You can also do what I do DIY workshops, and I do these quarterly. Working on trying to get that monthly as well. So again, there's so much more that you can do besides booking events in order to make money. It just depends on your commitment, your motivation, and how creative you are with making that additional income. I'm also getting ready to start doing online or hands-on training courses. So again, there's another avenue to making money as an event planner. So if you guys are thinking about being an event planner or decorator, just think about some other things that you can do on in those downtimes, because there will be downtimes. So just think about some other things that you could do during those times that would coincide with the event planning or design industry. Okay, and the next question. When I started, how long did it take to get my first customer? Well, I can't really tell you how long it took for me to get my first customer. I can tell you my first customer was a family member. And not long after that, I think I got my first real paying customer, because word of mouth means everything, guys. I can't stress that enough. Word of mouth means everything. So you have to always be professional and respectful, whether it's family or not, because you want your business to stand out above the rest. And you also need to identify your niche. And when you do that, that will help you, again, stand out in your business. So I can't tell you exactly when my first paying customer was, but I know it was within the first year of me being in business, being in actual business. That means with business license and everything. So, because I've actually been doing, events on and off for a good over 10 years. So, but like getting my first real paying customer was probably within that first year. And there's things that you need to do in between that time to make sure that you have some customers coming your way, like the social media, posting on there, doing mock setups. And I probably, even now, I still post mock setups of events. And I do that really for myself and also for the customers. So when customers come to me for a booking, I do a mock setup of their event so that they can get a bird's eye view, I want to say, of how the event will look in some aspects. So yeah, you probably want to continuously post on social media. You want to just build your portfolio to make sure that you have all of those pictures and things for when people do actually, start to come around, when customers do actually start to come around. And then when you do have that first booking, you want to make sure that that customer is sending out those pictures on their social media as well, so that, because they know people that you don't know. So again, that helps you with that word of mouth image. So that would be my suggestion as far as getting more customers. Social media is going to be a big help for you. I know when I first started out, I did a lot that I probably shouldn't have done. As far as marketing, advertisement, I spent a lot of money that I probably shouldn't have spent. So I wouldn't suggest you do that, but I'm just letting you know what my experience was. I spent a lot of money with different companies that said they were going to be, going to help me to get more customers and get better leads and stuff like that. And I did a lot of Facebook marketing where I spent a lot of money there. I spent a lot of money on Instagram, and it really didn't yield the customers that I thought it would. Most of my customers, majority of my customers came from word of mouth. So that's always going to be your best option for getting customers. Okay, the next question is, why should you hire an event planner or decorator? Okay, so for me, I think I could answer this question from my own personal experience, because and which is why this is the reason why I actually started this business on my own. Because when I got married 14 years ago. We're going on 15. We'll be, our 15-year anniversary is coming up in August. When I got married, I decided to do everything on my own. I was like, you know what? I got this. I know how to do this, everything. I did everything, decorating, the whole nine. I did everything. Talked to all the vendors. I did all of that. I want to tell you, when I got to my wedding that day, I was exhausted. I was extremely frustrated. Honestly, I didn't even want to be there because I had gone through so much in that process, and not really having an avenue where I could talk to somebody and kind of like just scream out, I need some help. I didn't have that person that I could bounce things off of, or anything like that. Nothing went the way I planned it to go, because there was nobody there to help coordinate anything. So it turned out beautiful. I mean, everything was beautiful as far as I could see. I really couldn't see a whole lot because I was so just done at that point. The whole thing was a blur. I can just tell you that much. But I do know I had no coordinator. I have no pictures to show for my wedding day, which was so bad. My pictures were horrendous, horrible, because we didn't have any coordination. There were just pictures being taken. My video, I don't have any of that. Honestly, to tell you, there was nothing from that day that I could actually tell you that turned out well, besides the fact that I got married. Me and my husband said I do. and that was probably the highlight of the day. Even the food preparation went horribly wrong. Nobody was there to help coordinate with that. My mom tried to step in and help, but mom wanted to do what mom wanted to do. She didn't want to execute things the way I wanted it to be executed. So I'm frustrated about that. I mean, I wasn't able to enjoy myself because I was so tired, so frustrated. And then wedding night, there was no way to consummate the wedding because I was so tired. There was nothing else to do but go to sleep. So that's I can tell you there nothing happened. Nothing happened. It and when I decided to do, and when I say, people say, well, I can't afford a coordinator. You can't afford not to have a coordinator. Even if you do everything else and just get the coordinator to coordinate your day, then you've still done something that's going to help you to make it throughout the day. The whole planning process and decorating and all that stuff, I mean, it's fun when you say you want to do it yourself. But me, even as an event planner and decorator, when we did our 10-year anniversary party, I paid someone. I was not going to have that same experience that I had for our wedding. Our 10-year anniversary was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. We had so much fun. I was not tired. I was ready to go party some more. It was wonderful. I didn't have the stress on me. I didn't have to worry about anything. Everything was done, executed just like I imagined it. And it turned out absolutely gorgeous. We're going to be doing a renewal ceremony for our 20th. And believe me, I'm paying someone. I'm not doing it myself. It's just too much work for you to have to do and try to enjoy yourself. So, yeah. That's my reason for hiring. When I say you can't afford not to, you really can't afford not to. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay. And for our next question, how do you deal with difficult customers? And I can answer that just by saying I deal with difficult customers the same way I deal with any customer, with respect and professionalism. Because you can change a situation around, you can change a customer around just by continuously being respectful and being professional. I can tell you I've had some difficult customers. Some may call them bridezillas. But when you think about yourself in that situation, which is why I'm able to make it through, when I thought about myself, when I was going through with my wedding and how I wanted things to be, I may have been considered a bridezilla myself. But nobody was there to deal with it but me. But, you know, I'm just saying, you just have to continuously, you know, be respectful and professional and understand that that person is dealing with a lot at that moment. And it's very stressful. It's very overwhelming to plan a wedding or plan any event when you want it to be perfect. Everything's not going to be perfect, but you want it to be as perfect as possible. And you've heard the saying, kill them with kindness. Well, it works. Just continuously be kind and you will see a change. All right, guys, so that's all I have for today for our Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. For all of our new subscribers, we are so glad that you were able to join us. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to see new DIY and event planning or design videos. Again, thank you so much. We really appreciate you here at Royale Classy Creations. And as always, be Royale, be classy, and be creative.